Which leads us nicely on to transfers. We've not many days to go before the old window slams shut, as we like to say. Boydie, coming to you first of all, there's been a lot of talk in the last couple of days about a certain O.Watkins and a potential possible, maybe a move to Arsenal. The news yesterday, Arsenal rejected a bid. Aston Villa rejected a bid for Arsenal. O.Watkins, despite the fact his family support Arsenal, he grew up supporting them as well, says he's happy to stay at Aston Villa. Is that the end of the matter?
No, I don't think it is. I mean, I don't think Arsenal would put themselves in a position where they've went out there and went after someone if there wasn't any incline that he was wanting to join them. I think when you look at, obviously John Duran was linked with a few moves before. That's obviously been done now. For me, looking at it, I don't think this one will rumble right onto Monday evening. I can't.
What, do you think Arsenal will get him?
I'm not sure they'll get him, but I think they'll go back in again. As I said, football clubs won't put themselves in the position where they're putting themselves out there to be shot down because there will be. That's why they've got agents. There'll be talks of, or there will have been talks taking place beforehand. Would they be interested in coming? Do you think we can get a deal done? And they wouldn't waste their time. They would go elsewhere if they didn't have any inkling that there is a potential for this move to happen. For me, I don't think it's dead in the water yet.
No chance. Where do you sense this going, Clinton? Because, John Duran's gone, and we'll talk quickly about him a little bit later, but if Watkins goes as well, the cupboard up front is looking somewhat bare for Aston Villa. They're into the Champions League last 16, got that top 8 finish. I know Arsenal, of course, were still in the Champions League as well, but from a Villa point of view, yes, money talks, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No, it don't, and they're linked to the likes of João Felix, Asensio, but these are not players. These are different kind of centre forwards, and they're not out and out centre forwards. They're more like creative players. O.Watkins is an out and out number 9 that wants to stretch, wants to go in behind. He's a natural goal scorer. So I'm agreeing with Boydie. This ain't going away. This won't go away. Obviously, they lost John Duran for a lot of money. If Arsenal make a bid for someone, and we know the thing with Arsenal side, so Arsenal are a big football club. If they don't go and get O.Watkins in this window, then there's a situation there. They have to try and go put all their monies into that basket to try and go and get O.Watkins. If you say that you're such a big football club, try your hardest to go and get it. If you're at 60 million, I don't know what the sum is, but if you go to 80, 90 million, and he's 29 years of age, Aston Villa will have to have second thoughts of it. Hold on, we might have to sell him. I don't think Aston Villa will. They'll be crazy to sell O.Watkins. He's so integral to the way they are and the way they play at the moment. But if Arsenal are serious about catching Liverpool, I think they need a number 9, and that is O.Watkins.
At 29, is that value, though? The kind of figure.
It's not value. It's not. Of course, it's good value for Aston Villa,
yeah.
But for Arsenal, it's a lot of money. Yeah. But if you think here and now you want to challenge Liverpool and you want to compete and win stuff, O.Watkins will still go at that level for the next 2 or 3 years because he's fit. He can even go beyond that. So it's not a deteriorating player, but you're not going to make no value on the player. That's what I mean. But for the here and now, I think it would be a good signing. But Villa would be crazy to let him go.
And it's not just about the money, so it's about the colliding of the ambitions of these two big clubs. Villa, big club. So if they let him go to Arsenal, what does that say about the ambitions of Villa?
Yeah, and that's what I don't think Aston Villa will let him go. I think with Duran going as well, I think O.Watkins is integral to the way that Aston Villa play. I think we saw the progression of him under Unai Emery, and he's actually spoke about that. He said, I've developed as a player under him. So you think from a player's perspective, he must think, well, I'm getting better all the time. Aston Villa, like you say, are a club with huge ambitions, but then from an Arsenal perspective, of course, they need striking reinforcements. We've said that. Mikel Arteta's come out and said that. They've showed that by putting the bid in. So you can understand why Arsenal are going for him. But I can't see for 1 second why Aston Villa would let him go.
But one player they definitely have let go, Dawes, is John Duran. He secured that move to Al Nassr. He joins up with Cristiano Ronaldo. He's still only 21 years of age. I mean, the wages, as we would expect, going to that particular league, astronomical compared to what he was on at Aston Villa. He's moved on to the realms of 320,000 a week compared to, I think, roughly around 75 at Villa. Listen, there's going to be the inevitable criticism. He's gone for the money, but he's only 21. When you look at his upbringing in Colombia as well, the way his family backed him through some really, really tough times. He's not had that many starts this season, 7 Premier League starts in all, some spectacular goals. You can't really blame him, or can you?
No, I don't think you can. Everything will have played into this decision to make the move. O.Watkins is their main number 9. You've seen that. You just said what he started 7 Premier League games. So he's always played second fiddle. He's always come on, he's scored goals. And I'm sure when this opportunity came up, he thought, look, we've all had different backgrounds and we all look for different things. Would I have gone? No, I wouldn't. But my upbringing might have been different to what John Duran was. So I say good luck to him. Go
Would
and
have fancied over 300 grand a week?
Yeah, probably would. I'd like that now. No doubt in that, and that's why people's heads are turned. I have never...
And the Ronaldo factor as well. You know,
Yeah.
getting to play alongside him, albeit at the sort of autumn of his career, however long that autumn's going to go on.
It's not the Premier League, though.
No.
For me, would I have done it? No, I wouldn't. I would have stayed. He's still on £70,000 a week, but he's not playing, so I can see why.
And also at 21, he can look at this and say, look, 2 or 3 years, fill up the bank account, come back, and I'm still only 23, 24.
Yes. Will he get the opportunity to come back to a football club like Villa? We haven't got the crystal ball, but I think he's made that decision. He's gone, and Aston Villa have to move on, and that's why I don't see any reason why they will let Ollie Watkins go. When I'm sat here on Monday night from 9 to 11, I don't see Ollie Watkins being an Arsenal player because they've let Duran go.
Yeah.
If Duran is still in the building, it might have been a little bit different, but it isn't. He's gone, and Ollie Watkins has to stay.
I must say to you, it's not 9 to 11, it's 9 to 12, mate.
Well, I think we're on 9 to 11, Clinton, aren't we?
Splitting hairs with that new haircut, Clinton, already. Hey?
You can go at 11 and Ollie Watkins will sign between 11 and 12.
For goodness sake. Look what you started, Clinton.
Look at this.
Let's move on to a name that's barely been talked about over this transfer window. That's Marcus Rashford, Boyd. He's not been involved in the last 12 games of Manchester United, wasn't involved in the Europa League. I mean, Ruben Amorim said interesting things to say. He said, imagine a talent like Rashford, our team should be so much...
Get him because it's quite embarrassing if they go in for a bid for someone and then all of a sudden they don't get him, and he's no disrespect, he's at Aston Villa and Arsenal are coming for you. So, and I don't mean that disrespectfully, but Arsenal are that next level for Ollie Watkins, and he supports them as a fan. So for me, I'd be surprised. You can't just keep on rushing in and buying Tom, Dick and Harry. You know what I mean? You've got to be precise in whoever you buy, and it's hard to go and play for Arsenal. You can't just go and buy someone from somewhere and go, right, you're playing for Arsenal. You know, we've seen that with Hoyland. You know, it's hard to play for these big clubs. You're highlighted, you're under pressure from the word go. I think you get Watkins, he's played in this league, he's scored goals, he plays for England. It just fits, and he hits the ground running for the next 3 or 4 months and gives Arsenal an opportunity of winning the Premier League.
Do you think it makes any difference that he's an Arsenal fan and he said that it was his dream one day to play for Arsenal and his hero was Thierry Henry? Does that come into it at all?
Yeah, I would have thought so. I'd have thought so. I think being an Arsenal fan, I think that would help. And plus, you know, he's going to go and try and win the Premier League, so it will help. Would I be shocked if they did sell him? No, I wouldn't. I think if money talks, I think Arsenal tried to catch Villa cold and think, right, we'll go in and offer 60 million. And they would have had a whisper that Duran was being offered 60 or 65 million from Saudi Arabia, and then they throw that on the table, and then Aston Villa go, right, do we sell a 28-year-old for 60 million and keep the 21-year-old for 60 million? And they didn't. They sold the 21-year-old for 60 million. So it tells you something about the 21-year-old, in my opinion.
Which players have signed for Palace because their hero was Clinton Morrison?
Everyone. Eze, Teta, at least they went to Bayern Munich on the back of me. I said it. I done the deal, but that's for another show.
You told me you were Birmingham.
Arsenal. Yeah, I'm a Birmingham legend, Palace legend. Every club I've been in, Sky Sports legend. You do the rest.
It's all got something. Let's bring the audience back in. We got an Arsenal fan. Andreas, is it? Kesh. Away you go, Kesh. What you got?
Good evening. Why is Arsenal not signing a striker? And if they need the money, I'm sure Paul Mercy will be happy to help.
Oh, if what? They need the money, you'll be happy to help.
Why?
Yeah. No, as I say, you can't just rush and buy any centre forward. It's a big club, Arsenal. You know, when you're playing at the next level, you can't just go out and buy players willy-nilly. You've got to pick the right player. That takes time. And I don't think they'll rush. I think sometimes you can go out now and pay 70, 80 million and not win the league and then stuck with that player that then, like a Watkins or Isaac or someone else comes along and you think, I'm stuck with this person now. And with the fair play rule, it's difficult. It's hard now. It's, you know, before you could go, I will buy him for 50, 60 million. And if it doesn't work, we'll go and buy someone else. People are looking at these transfers now, you know, like the Anthony one, the Hoyland one, and I'm just picking on Man United, but these big signings now, before 4 or 5 years ago, like when I played, if you bought someone for 5, 6, 7 million and they didn't perform, the manager was gone. You were out because you put your eggs in that basket. Now players, 82 million, Anthony, he's on loan now. I mean, and nothing's said about it. It's just like people throwing money away left, right, and centre. And I think now it's tightened up. And I think they've got to be patient. They've got to be patient. I think you stay patient with Arteta. And Arsenal are there and thereabouts. They won't be far off.
Yeah, but if you want to win the league, you need to get.
I get Watkins, and people go, oh, you know, I heard Arsenal fans go to me, but he's 28. Who cares? You know, it's for now, next year, and the year after. After that, it doesn't matter. You know, if they don't buy him, they're not going to turn around to all the Arsenal season ticket holders and go, we didn't get Ollie Watkins, so we're going to knock everybody's season ticket down by £100. They're not. So let them spend the money. It doesn't matter. Spend the money. Put in £100 million, and I'd be shocked if Villa didn't let him go for 100 million.
I love this guy.
Andreas is next.
Just a question for Paul Merson. Just wanted to know whether Arsenal are going to buy anyone before Monday's transfer deadline.
Yeah, I think they will. I think they will buy someone. I think they will. But it won't, you know, it'll be done properly. It won't be a panic buy. I don't think there's no need to panic. You know, if they don't do it again this season, they'll be there again next season. You know, been second the last 2 years. They're second again. The consistency's there. They've just got to try and get over the line. But, you know, I think it's got to be someone who's going to come in and hit the ground running. You can't afford to keep on giving players 200 grand a week and sitting on the bench.
Who must though?
That's why I say Ollie Watkins. That's why I say go now, put £100 million down, and there's your 100 million, and just see what Villa say.
They won't need to spend 100 million on Watkins, but the Watkins one is really, really interesting because if they've engaged in talks, and Paul mentioned it before, the way transfers work now, you don't just go out and to a club and say, let's negotiate